Hi there, how are you today? How are you feeling? So in this beautiful video, we just wanted to talk about it's just something that's come to our awareness about when we were putting together the forgiveness course offer last month. And it's only just hit me in the last few days as we've been promoting the beautiful Spirit Guides course for this month, as it's the first time that we're offering it online. And it's something that you can do in your own time, at your own pace, and you don't need me to be there. I mean, I am there with you in the beautiful videos, but you don't need to rely on me each week to be face to face for me to provide this gorgeous information to you. You now have access to it anytime, which is brilliant. I just love these online courses that I've been guided to create for you, because it gives you freedom that you can start these courses at any time. You don't need to rely on my schedule of when I am offering this course, of when I'm available for them. So what's come through is that I did this huge promotion for the beautiful forgiveness course that we were offering, this course at 60% off last month. The month of July was the month of forgiveness. And it didn't occur to me throughout the month, because I love maths so much, that many people would not have understood what that 60% was, what it meant, for the course. So as we're going through this beautiful month with the Spirit Guides course, I have been guided to create, on Facebook, and even just yesterday, you would have seen the beautiful video where I walk you through the different prices. Because we understand that where there is no clarity, there cannot be trust. So if it's not clear to you what the price is or what it is that you're signing up for, how can you trust the process? It's not going to work. So we've decided we're bringing back forgiveness in September at that special price that we'd offer, at the special discount. And this time we will be walking you through the prices, what the actual price will be with the discount, so that there's no misunderstanding, there's no confusion about what it is that you'll be paying and what it is that you will be receiving. Now, for the forgiveness course, as promised, we did break it down into the 3 modules. There are 3 main modules for that beautiful course. It runs over 3 months or 12 weeks, if you like. And we've broken up the modules. The modules, because they're already broken down and they've already been reduced for you to pay at a lower price, for those of you, who can't pay for the full price, the modules are the only thing that do not have the discount. I just thought I'd clarify that. It does say it on the website that the discount will only apply to the full price or to the installment plan. It also applies to the coaching. So group coaching will be at the 60% off, and the one-on-one coaching will be at the 60% off. Also know within yourselves that this 60% off is a one-off thing. We just didn't, I don't feel that we did it properly the first time because of the few people that did sign up for it. I felt that maybe it just wasn't clear what the prices were going to be, and so people didn't feel confident signing up for it. So we will be offering that again in September, but usually our discounts range somewhere between 25% to 40%. So if forgiveness is something that's big on your list, I would be looking out for that in September. Now, we are huge advocates for forgiveness here at Hollie Belle, because I spent most of my life in resentment, in anger, in unforgiveness, holding grudges. And so we know what that's like. It really drains your energy, because your energy is trapped in all of that. That it doesn't allow it the freedom to be, pursuing other things like talking to spirit guides or communicating with our beautiful spirit guides, or whatever else it is that your soul is pulling you towards. It may not be spirit guides. You may be here for something else. But while your beautiful energy is caught up in holding grudges towards others and being resentful and not being able to forgive, your energy is caught up there. It's not free to pursue the infinite possibilities that are available to you, to me, to everyone, because we are infinite possibilities. So, my beautiful beings, that was something that I wanted to bring forward in this beautiful video, that we are aware that just because we are all excited that we're giving you this 60% off because we really want you to have this course, because we know what's at the end of it, the freedom that comes from doing that beautiful course. We know what it's like, you know, and we know how it affects everything, you know, your relationships with your partners, the relationships with your parents. You know, my relationship with my parents was so strained for so long, you know. The relationship with your children, the relationship with yourself, you know. So when we are in unforgiveness, we are viewing the world as the victim. These people have done these things to us, you know. And when we go through the beautiful process of forgiving, we come out the other side and we realize that this is our life and that we are the creators of our lives, of our reality. And so we chose all of it. How can we be a victim when we chose all of it? To have the experience that we came to have, my beautiful beings. This is what is at the end of forgiveness, being able to see your life from the eyes of your beautiful higher self, from the eyes of your soul, knowing that you came to have those beautiful experiences. They were part of your journey. Nothing that happens in your life is a coincidence or an accident, or it wasn't meant to be. If it happened, it was meant for you. You were meant to gain something from it on a soul level, my beautiful beings. So today we invite you to sit with that. Is there resentment still festering inside of you? Because that's how it feels. It feels like it's festering, like it's an open wound that hasn't healed. And every time we think of that person that hurt us, that wound hurts. We relive it over and over and over. One of the beautiful analogies, I'm trying to think, I think it's in Loving Your Pain. You know, when we're young and we fall down, say we're riding our bike and we fall off our bike, which we did many, many times until we learned how to ride really well, right? It's just part of the experience. You do fall off. Like when you start walking, you do fall down many, many times until you master the art of walking. Riding your bike is the same. And so you fall off many, many times. But say one time you fell off and you had a big gash on your leg and you had to go to hospital to get stitches. Now, what happens? In the moment when you're going through that experience, it's very painful. It hurts. Physically, it hurts. And then you get the stitches, and for days and days and possibly weeks, it's going to hurt because the wound is fresh on your leg. But as time passes, that wound on your leg, it heals. And you're left with the scar where they put the stitches in. You have this scar, this scar, and you can tell this beautiful story of, your adventure riding your bike and you came off, however it happened. And now you have this scar to remind you of that day. But today, when you remember that moment, you remember that, yes, it hurt. But you don't relive that pain every time you look at the scar. You don't look at the scar and it's like, oh, it's still very tender. Oh, it still hurts 20 years later. No, we look at the scar and we remember, oh yeah, that was painful. I remember that. That really hurt. I cried. or whatever it is, or yelled or screamed or whatever it is that you did because of the pain that you felt in that moment. But 5 years later, 10 years later, 20, 30, 40 years later, you can look at the scar and remember the event, but you don't relive the pain. When we have resentment within us, when we can't forgive others, we have all these internal scars of events that we've been through where we have been hurt emotionally. We carry those inside. And resentment is there to remind you that you haven't let that event go yet. So every time you are upset with this person that hurt you, that you can't forgive, you relive that pain over and over and over. And the moment you are able to let it go, you are able to forgive it. Is that scar, that internal scar, can begin to seem the same as the external scar. Yes, you can remember the event of what happened, but you no longer need to relive the pain of what happened. You can just remember it. Ah, yes, I remember that hurt. But I don't need to be reliving that pain over and over and over because I can't forgive, I can't let it go. This is the message that this resentment is giving you, that you still haven't let it go. And this is why you need to have this resentment and you need to hold these grudges and you just can't forgive. That event is still serving your experience. That pain is still part of your journey. We haven't extracted all the information, all the gold that we were meant to extract from those events. And so our beautiful energy is still trapped there. Because that wound, that internal scar, that wound is still open. It hasn't healed. We haven't healed it yet. And the resentment, the anger, all of those things that come up, they're just reminding you that that wound is still there, that that wound is still open, that that wound hasn't been healed. Unlike the beautiful scar that you have on your leg now that is completely healed because you can touch it with your finger and it doesn't hurt. You can look at it and you can remember the event and it doesn't hurt. Yes, you remember at the time it hurt like hell. It hurt a lot. I screamed and I cried and that scar is the reminder. But you don't feel the pain every time you look at that scar and you remember. You just remember. It was just an event. It was part of your experience, learning how to ride a bike. Falling down is part of that experience. Getting hurt is part of that experience. For many of us, I fell down many times trying to learn how to ride a bike. Many, many, many times. It was part of the experience. It's part of learning. Making mistakes is part of learning. We cannot learn, we cannot grow if we don't want to make mistakes, if we try to avoid them, because mistakes are part of it. Mistakes are part of learning. Mistakes are part of growing. They're part of the experience. What we call mistakes, the falling down, would you call it a mistake? It's part of the experience. The falling off your bike, would you call that a mistake? It's part of the experience. And yet, for all the other things, we call them mistakes. We make mistakes. But it is part of the experience. We cannot learn, we cannot evolve, we cannot grow if we don't allow ourselves to make all those mistakes that we need to make to get there. We need to make them. This is what learning is all about. This is what growing is all about. It's what evolving is all about. Falling down and getting back up. Falling off and getting back on. It's part of the journey, my beautiful beings. And with time, you can learn to see those events that you hold resentment for, that you hold grudges towards these beautiful beings that were serving your human experience. You can learn to see them as they were playing roles for you, that you could have this beautiful human experience. That's all they were doing. You had soul contracts with these beings, and this is what they promised you that they would do for you, that you may have this gorgeous human experience, no matter what it was, no matter what you've been through. We've all been through. We've all been through. We all have stories. We've all been through painful moments in our childhood, in our adolescence, in our adult years. Pain is part of the journey. So, my beautiful beings, all this knowledge, all this wisdom is contained throughout all the gorgeous courses. That beautiful analogy with the bike is in loving your pain. It came through right at the end, just as we were finishing off. It came through. And I was like, wow, that's so beautiful. You know, that we can look at our beautiful events of our childhood and our adolescence, and we can see them as just events. In that moment, yes, they caused us pain, just like falling off our bike caused us pain. But we don't need to stay there. We don't need to stay there in that pain. We can learn to heal, to release, to let it go. Because forgiving is never about the other person. It's not about saying, oh, what they did was all right, what they did was okay. It's not that at all, ever. Forgiveness is always for you, always. It's to set yourself free. All right, my beautiful beings. So, know in your heart that the forgiveness course will be coming back in September at the 60% off. And we will be walking you through what the prices will be so that you are clear as to what you will be paying. There will be no ambiguity. Because we realized once we were in the middle of the Spirit Guides course, oh, most people probably didn't understand what they would actually be paying at the end of that, you know? And forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself. It's an incredible gift that you give to yourself. All the courses that we create, you are gifting yourself this remembering, this knowledge I was going to say, but truly it's about remembering who you are, the beautiful light that you are, the love that you are. All of it is pointing you back to you, my beautiful beings. All right, we love you dearly. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.